Hello, you're through to Warpstone TV, and today we're going to be painting some Night Lords in a colour scheme similar to this. This model is from my Fabius Bile army, and well, hopefully we get it quite similar. I painted this a couple of months ago, and then I thought, I might as well do this for my Night Lords 30k. And do a little tutorial on the basic tabletop standard of the Night Lord army. So what I did here was I sprayed it in Chaos Black spray, and on this Night Lord Raptor from 30k Forge World, and then I sprayed it with a Zenithal highlight of Cermite White from the Citadel range. So to start off, we started with Cantor Blue with quite a large brush just to try and get a bigger coverage over the whole model. That brush I got off Amazon, I can't remember what make it is. It's quite cheap though. So water down your Cantor Blue a bit and then spread it over the whole model, so then it ends up eventually like this. As you can see, it is a bit lighter in some areas. I did 2 thin layers like Games Workshop recommends, and then next we're going to start with the little ridges in between the armor, and we're going to use a Bad and Black for these little ridges, so like his joints and everything like that. Little pipes and on the armor panels, like on his face mask or on his jump pack, and on his chainsword on the edge of it, the covering. So, as you can see, I did do all the little armor joints and in between his hands and the little pipe work. I did forget to do on the chainsword, but I do that later. So next up we have Lead Belcher, which will also be on the, as you can see, after I've painted it black there now. I will start doing the bolter and the chainsaw teeth. Also on his jump pack, the Lead Belcher, and also the edges of the armor, the trim. So let's see how that goes. This first couple of layers is a bit messy, but it does work out in the end. It looks right nice. So as you can see, I have put it on the jump pack and the bolter, the chainsword, on his little power part of a chainsword, and on his little belt buckle as well. So next up we start with the reds. We are doing Mephiston Red on the wings and on the shoulder pads, just to start off with a little base layer, and also on the pipes on the top of the jump pack. I did forget to do them in the video. I did them toward the end because I was concentrating on just the actual model centering, like the whole guy, not the jump pack. I don't know why I just didn't do him, but I did do him in the end, so don't worry about that. As you can also see, it's very difficult to try and get in behind the wings on his head. And here we have the reds done. So now we'll go on to the full wash of Nuln Oil all over the model, just to give them dark recesses. I have sped up the camera here, just so then it gets over and done faster for you guys, because I'm pretty sure it's a bit boring to watch someone just wash a whole model. Normally I wouldn't wash the whole models all in one. I would only like pin wash them, but because there's going to be a lot of these guys in my army, I just try and get them all done so they all look nice. A lot of them together look nice on the table, so as it is just tabletop standard, I'm not trying to impress anyone other than myself, so my army looks nice at this point on this one. As I've said, I've got a lot of these. I think I've got about 40 jump pack Night Raptors from Forge World. So as you can see here, the Nuln Oil wash has dried, and it's left a lot of dark recesses in some places, and it's left a lot of detail popping out. So next I'm going to go back over with Kantor Blue, just to add a extra highlight, leave them shade where all the Nuln Oils rested. Make sure you don't go far into the crevices with your Kantor Blue again. Just go over the top of where you've been before and leave sort of a shade from above. So imagine where your light source is coming from, make it go down, so then you've left a shade of the Nuln Oil underneath, say like on his knee pad there. I don't go straight into the knee pad, I go underneath it, so it leaves a bit of depth to the actual model. Now you want to do this around the whole model because the wash will be a bit too dark for the next paint just on its own. Just so it gives a bit more of a definition between the light sources on the armour. So with that all done, we'll go on to the next colour, which is Kaldor Sky. And this is a bit of a scary colour for Night Lords since it's a bit brighter, but I really like it on Night Lords because I don't like Night Lords too dark and too grim. My Night Lords are a bit lighter blue, just so then they pop out on the board, whereas if you've got them too dark, in my opinion, they don't look as nice as other armies, if you know what I mean. They just look dark and gloomy, and you struggle to find the detail in dark colours, whereas in light colours like this Kaldor Sky just makes some of the detail pop on the actual model. So you do this all over the model, and then it'll end up like this. It just makes every bit of detail on the armour a lot more better, in my opinion. It makes me feel like I've actually got a Space Marine model now instead of a dark. It doesn't feel painted when it's just the Kantor Blue. When it's added the Kaldor Sky, I think it really pops. So now on here, I'm going to add the Screaming Skull onto the Skull Helm. Just so then I've got that. I'll also add it to the shoulder pad skull as well. Just having this skull pop out. A lot of people either paint them red to go with the actual wings, so they're like part of the wings moulded on the mask. But I like to have him as a separate sort of, say he's picked up half a skull of a Space Marine or another animal and put it on his actual mask himself, just to intimidate his foes. And I like doing Screaming Skull on the actual faces of the Night Lords. So with that done and dry, we can go on to the next stage, which is Mephiston Red for the red wings on his, obviously, head, and on his knee pad and on his shoulder pad. just to make them stand out a bit more, because that Northern oil wash took it down quite a lot and made it quite dim. So we're going to add just a bit of a highlight on the wings. We will add another highlight to these, but this just makes another part of depth. So we're adding Rackar flesh to the fleshy parts of the model. So like his backbone that he's got, his skin tags, and that face that he's got. He's got a full head latched to his belt that also will put in Rackar flesh, just so then we've got a base coat on their models of a sort of fleshy colour. So now we're going to add a layer of Evil Sun Scarlet, just to make a bit more of a brighter colour instead of just that Mephiston Red on its own. So then it actually makes the wings pop off the mask, and also on his shoulder pad and his knees. Just be sure to you hit all the raised areas on the model, and then you'll be good as gold. So next we're going to shade and obviously make them skull parts pop out, and the skulls and his mask basically, and the fleshy parts on his body that he's got as trophies pop out. So we're going to use the Raglan Flesh shade just to give a lot more depth onto that. So then it helps out with just the Screaming Skull on its own is very, very limited on what it can do. So having this shade is a lot better. It just makes all the details pop out. It just makes all the difference in the world. So you can see there it's actually made his eyes darker, and obviously that flesh that's on him darker, and actually have a bit of, there you go, I'm taking off the excess of the Raglan Flesh shade just so then it doesn't give too much shadows to them parts of the body, and these trophies. I love it in the eyes though. I all my Night Lords, I have to have that Raglan Flesh shade in their eyes, because I can't imagine with a red eye or something. So next we're going on Wild Rider Red. So going on the wings, just the tips of the wings and just the edges of the shoulder pad, just so then it adds that extra uniqueness to where the light has hit the actual parts of the model. So you can see I've just gone on just the tips of the wings. Nothing too extravagant, just a bit just on the tops and on the edges where the light would hit it at most. So next on the mask, what we're going to do, we go back over with the Screaming Skull, but only give a very, very small highlight on picking out the edges of that skull mask. Also with the bone on the front of his body, and we're going to also go over the face with Pallid Witch flesh. So that is practically nearly done. All I forgot to mention was the fact that Steel Legion drab was used on the rope around his neck to hold his trophies, as well as on his belt. But then I just added some sterling mud, I think it is, onto the base and painted the base. That just looks gorgeous to me now. A squad of 2 squads of 20 for my 30k army would make that look amazing, and that's what I'm doing for the rest of the time. And I just wanted to thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this little painting tutorial, please feel free to take any notes or any information from that at all, or even pass me information on painting. That would be a great help. But I thank you so much for watching, and have a good night. Bye-bye.